Hey Retro Rivals, you ready? Welcome back, it's your boy Fresh.
And I'm Mary, and we are a Co-ople of Nerds, and today we're going to be showing you our pickups for March 2022. But before we begin, don't forget to give us a like, a subscribe, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Alright, so this, you got a little sneak peek at this if you watched our top 5 embarrassing things and top 5 prideful things. This was obviously a point of pride. It's the Mario bust, bronze Mario bust. Our friend Awesome Austin Matthews suggested that us and the kids play Mario Kart, and whoever gets third place gets to hold on to the bronze Mario bust.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, that's really neat.
Yeah, I found that online, and I wasn't even really specifically looking for that. I was just looking around for like Mario statues and stuff, and when I saw that, I was like, that is awesome.
That is awesome.
Have to have that.
Okay, so we went to our local this wasn't our local disc place. This was one that was a little bit further away, and it's like someone had cashed in their NES collection, so we picked up some titles we were missing. We got Life Force, which is a fun shooter from Konami. Karnov. This game is pretty tough when I played it.
Okay. Are you fighting dinosaurs?
I think you fight all the traditional baddies,
Oh,
which
okay.
includes dinosaurs. Super C. Mary said she's personally going to beat this year.
Oh, am I?
Rygar. Lots of action adventure games. Ghosts and Goblins. We already had this. I made a mistake.
Oops.
Whoopsie.
Well, it was kind of like you were running out of time, and you're like, I gotta hurry out of here. And
Yeah,
there was a sale, so you can't just not take advantage of a sale.
Yeah, I was carrying my son, and he was ready for bed, and the guy's like, "Hey, if you buy 5, you get 1 free, right? For equal or lesser value." So I'm like, well, I can't just turn down a free game.
Yeah, you had 5, yeah.
So I'm just kind of looking, and I couldn't check my phone, so I used Game Eye to keep track of the collection. And I was like, I don't remember having Ghosts and Goblins. So I went ahead and picked it up. Turns out we already did.
Oops.
So we'll trade it in. And then Athena. That writing on that one's so crazy. I mean, it's got cool artwork, but that font is just out of this world.
It's pretty.
Kate did some eBaying and found Phantasy Star 2. Now, unfortunately, it did not have the cover art.
But he was nice enough to still give you a case, which is really nice.
Yeah. So it had the manual in the game, which I knew it, and no case, but I paid less than loose price for it, so yeah. I don't pay for
I think
cartridges.
It's nice to have the case when you have the manual, because then the manual isn't just sitting there on the shelf with the game.
That manual's pretty beat up, so we'll have to see how long that one lasts. I'll let you do this name.
Let's see, it's Siveriar Delta? Siveriar Delta?
Yeah, that's what she said. Of course, it's the generic GameStop case. And we haven't even tried this one out yet. Let us know, internet is any good. I think it's a shooter, which I've been really into lately. Wild Arms 5 for the PS2. It's another RPG. Really looking forward to that. I thought the back art on it was pretty cool. It's like, it's not really the game, like typically. It's just art. This one did not have the manual, but I'm okay.
That's okay.
We got, this might be the first Wii game I bought for myself, but
It looks really scary.
you don't see a whole lot of survival horror games on the Wii, so here we go with Cursed Mountain.
Well, you're not a big fan of the motion controls on the Wii. So.
No, so I'll have to get used to it and try it out. So this is a steel book, and it's complete. So it looks like we got 2 discs and a climber's log. I'm not sure what this disc is. Cursed of Making of Video, Region 1. That's kind of
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's a little making of video. But yeah.
That looks really scary.
That does look really scary. This one is probably the less dinger / new. I don't know what I was thinking when I ordered this one. But Prey for Xbox 360. I mean, it looks cool. It's just not sort of the theme we've been going with all year. It's pretty common game. Not hard to find. And I got it for a really low price, so maybe that was it. It's one of those, I think, that eBay had like 30 seconds left and I had to make a quick decision.
No time to think.
That's right. We got The Nightmare of
Jiraga
on PS2.
That looks really cool, though.
Yeah, so this is another role-playing game. Role-playing games, survival horror, and shooters and couch co-op are probably our bread and butter games right now. Again, not complete. But I'm saving a lot of money by not taking manuals.
Yeah.
And I don't really go back and look at the manuals anyways.
Well, it's not about having like a complete collection so much as having some good games.
Yeah. So basically, if it's a game that's going for under Game I and I've never even heard of it, like a lot of those I haven't even heard of or never seen, I'm probably going to pick it up. We got In Nightmare for the PS5. This one's a brand spanking new one. It's horror, but it's not graphic horror, it's teen. So I thought maybe the kids might get a little
Our daughter actually
kick out of
opened
that.
the package for that, and she was like, "Oh, look, Mommy, it's scary."
I'll let you do that one.
Okay, so we saw this movie at Goodwill, and I had to get it. This was a movie that I made my poor mother watch around the clock, just constantly over and over again. And that's Annie. Yeah, and this is the original, not the remake. I don't know if there was another one before. Yeah, well, Tim Curry isn't the main character. Carol Burnett does play a pretty big part in it. She plays a really funny role in it. But, yeah, I just loved this movie as a kid, and I thought maybe our kids would get a kick out of it.
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
It is a musical. But
Strike one. So we recently went through and culled out our movie collection. There's a 2-part video. It's definitely the biggest video we've ever made. Took all those in to our local Disc Replay and got one thing back in return, but it's a dinger for the PS2, and now I think our most valuable game.
yeah.
Maybe I should save it to the end. I'm gonna save it to the end. Our new most valuable game coming soon.
Yay!
So we made a trip to
Game Preserve.
Preserve and randomly just bought a bunch of games, which isn't totally like us. We don't typically go. I mean, I order more Kickstarters and stuff than we just go into a store, but I don't remember why we were over there.
Kohl's.
Oh,
We had a return for Amazon at Kohl's, and it's right next to Kohl's.
Right. So this is Echoes the Cocktail. It is an audio mystery game.
So we were like actually headed out of the store. He had already made his purchase, and I saw this, and I was like, I want to try this out. This looks really cool.
Right.
We like Chronicles and Crime, which uses an app. Although I'm not always the biggest fan of games that use an app, but this had a really interesting feel to it, and there's different stories that you can do. I'm assuming it's kind of like an exit game where it's a one-hit deal, but
Right.
it's probably not destructive if you're just scanning in an app.
Right, yeah.
So
yeah.
you could always pass it along.
Right. Yeah, so it's I think it's like a narrative story in which you can scan cards to ask questions, sort of similar to
Chronicles of Crime.
Chronicles of Crime, like you were saying, but it's supposed to give you audio clues. So I don't know if that's like a sped up heart rate, like if you're interrogating someone and their heart's getting faster, or I'm not sure exactly how they're going to do that, or like you hear glass break, so you need to go figure it out. I don't know.
It just looked really interesting. We only got one. They had two different types there. We
Right,
got
yeah.
the
So
one.
we figured we'd start with one and see how we like it. This is my least favorite board game in the collection.
I haven't gotten to
Mystery
do
House.
the other one,
Yeah, the cowboy one.
but that's because I plan to do it alone. Because he's a poor sport. But I definitely want to do it. And I'm really excited to. I just haven't had the time to myself. It's kind of like, oh, you want to play a board game? How about you sit there while I play a board game by myself? It doesn't typically work that way.
No, so this is a game where it's got all these slots where you slide in all these cards, and then it's like a physical house that you peep into the windows and get clues, and then it's got another app.
And then as you unlock clues, then tiles get removed so
Right.
you can see further into the house. It's pretty cool.
And this one is a spaceship one, so that's kind of interesting. So you got a cowboy one and a spaceship one to do.
So this is one I've had my eye on for like forever. Every time I see it, I'm like, this is so beautiful.
Why don't you go ahead and say the name?
Arboretum.
Arboretum?
And I've had my eye on it for a long time, and when we were there, it was the only game I was actually looking for, and I didn't see it until after I spotted the Echoes one. And I was like, oh, well, there it is. It was like on the other side of the store where we weren't looking, and I was like, I want to get this game. I've had my eye on it for a long time. It's very beautiful looking, and it's a short game for
30 minutes.
Yeah, so
2 to 4 people.
I thought it would be good for us.
Yeah, so nowhere is nature's beauty quite so evident as in the
Resplendent
colors of
Arboretum.
in
Arboretum.
you create carefully planned paths for your visitors to walk as they take colorful explosions of buds and leaves. The cheerful cherry blossom, the fragrant dogwood, the mighty oak, all have a place in this peaceful haven. But the tranquil setting belies the game's... Belies?
Yeah.
The game's competitive heart. You must choose which cards to plant in your...
Arboretum.
and which to keep in hand, as only the most expert curator will win the renown...
Win the renown of nature enthusiasts everywhere.
Huh. Alright.
Little tongue twister on the back there.
Yeah, that was... Need a drink out of that one. So this is a game we both picked out. I forgot to take price tags off. My bad. Cascadia. We've heard a lot of great things about this. So they call it a spatial puzzle game, but basically it's similar to Arboretum, where you're sort of building out you're building out like a little tree house type thing. This one you're building out Earth. So you got like mountains and rivers and plains and deserts, and trying to get the most points. But that one looks pretty cool, so we're excited to try that one out.
Very pretty as well.
And then one of our favorite games had a new release.
Yep.
Unmatched Battle of Legends 2. So this has, I'll let you do this one first.
Yenenga.
Achilles.
Sun Wukong.
And Bloody Mary. See, we did 50-50.
I'm really not that great with vocabulary, but I
You're
get
better
by.
than me. So look at this Bloody Mary figure. Let's see if I can get that. She's like coming through a mirror.
That's really cool.
So that one I'm super excited to try out. And you can see her on the front box there, all bloody coming out of the mirror. This is a great game. We got, I think, everyone so far.
I believe so. I don't think we've missed any yet.
Oh no, we did. We purposely skipped the Buffy one.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, yeah.
So neither one of us ever watched Buffy, so
we thought about it, but there's so many other shows that we would like to see all of that I don't think we could fit that one in.
Yeah, I think they did that one for a long time.
They did.
So we got, oh wait a minute. Let me do this one first. So we got Horrified American Monsters. This one's very, very similar.
This was a Facebook trade, right?
Yeah, to the Horrified game we have already. That one's Universal Monsters. This one is American Cryptids. But it's a great game.
It's one of our favorites. Horrified is one of our favorites. So.
And now we got Kickstarters. So up first, I'll let you do that name.
Dracula. Oh. Walpurgis Night?
Dracula. Night.
Walpurgis? I believe.
So yeah, this is... I already cracked it open because I wanted to learn it, and then we got all distracted. So basically, yeah, you're trying to feed vampires in all these towns while not planting too much werewolves, because the werewolves turn.
You gotta have a balance between werewolves.
Right, yeah, because they'll turn before the vampires wake up, so they get to eat first.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta...
So are they also eating humans?
Yep.
Okay.
So you're delivering humans and sometimes vampires.
At
werewolves.
first, when you initially started to explain it, I was thinking of Masters of the Night, and I'm like, never mind.
No.
Masters of the Night, though, is a really fun game.
That is a really fun game. So that was a Kickstarter, and I learned that I had missed their previous Kickstarter, Frankenstein. If you make a video game or a board game about a Universal monster, I'm gonna buy it. Okay. That's my favorite.
So they came together in the same box.
Right, yeah. This one would already been released, so I added it on to this purchase. But yeah, so this is a bodybuilding game. So it's just a card game where you're trying to build a monster. Do it the best. It's only 35 minutes, 2 to 5 though.
Yeah.
Which is nice. We're always looking for 5-player games for our big play group. I think, yeah, Dracula's only 2 to 4. And then Mary got her bust, and I got my little bust too.
Aww, it's so cute.
A little Dracula. I need to find the Frankenstein one because they made a Frankenstein one. I meant to actually contact this company and see if I can get the Frankenstein bust.
They go good together on the shelf.
Yeah. And I think Werewolf or Wolfman is next. Okay, so we got some expansions for a game that we already had, Asking for Troubles. This one is Companions. So Asking for Troubles is a worker placement game that is extremely lightweight. If you are intimidated by the big worker placement games, Asking for Troubles is a real nice...
It was one of the first worker placement games I ever played, and I enjoyed it so much I bought it.
Yep, yeah, we got that at Gen Con. And then Asking for Troubles, Troublemakers. There's a ton of orange in this game. All the ships are orange, all the monsters are orange. That's just sort of their gimmick. But it's 2 to 7 players, which is another really nice but odd player count. You don't see that very much. Then it came with a big giant box to put both expansions and the base game in, which we love.
Yes, because we need that to save shelf
space on the shelf. Now it's time for the big boy. Return to Dark Tower. So this was a board game that was made back in the 80s, and then they remastered it, reworked it. Restoration games, they do this all the time. We really like restoration games. I never played Return to the Dark Tower as a kid. That box is the Dark Horde expansion.
That's just the expansion. This giant box came in the mail, and I thought it was something else that I had ordered. Some shelving for my tools.
This is Alliance's expansion. The fight against the tower just got darker.
Oh.
A bag of shit they couldn't fit in all these boxes.
Yeah. Even the Asking for Troubles did that thing where all the pieces, all the little pieces were in individual little bags.
Oh, yeah. And then here's the base game.
Goodness.
Return to the Dark Tower.
So cool looking though.
Yeah. Look at this, the back. So the gimmick on this game is it has this gigantic tower and you put skulls in it. And what skulls pop out. So it kind of works like a dice tower, but you put skulls in it. Which skulls and what colors and how many do different things for the enemies. So it is a cooperative game. Mm-hmm. It's not quite a dungeon crawler, but it's got a lot of dungeon crawler elements to it. So I know Mary's not the biggest fan of that, but I'm hoping a giant foot-tall tower gets her over that.
I like some dungeon crawlers sometimes. It just depends.
Wow. Did you hear all those qualifiers, internet? I like some dungeon crawlers sometimes.
It depends on my mood and if it's a Tuesday.
So now, the most expensive game in our video game collection. Hang on. Need another one. It's actually a game I saw at this very store before, and I passed it because it was so much money. Mm-hmm. And then it was gone. And then it and its sequel was back maybe a year later or something. Mm-hmm. So I assume someone bought it, beat them, and then resold them to the store. So I paid $0 for this, but 2 giant totes of movies. You want to do that name?
Devil Summoner. Oh, Shin Megami Tensei.
That's just the guy who made it. I just want you to say that.
Oh.
Devil Summoner. Raidoku Kuzunohan versus the Soulless Army. Oh, you do this part, I'll do this part.
Raidu Kuzunoa.
Versus the Soulless Army. See how much clearer I speak than she does? Boom. And it's pretty holographic.
It is pretty. But you came home, he was like, I'm going to go trade in all these movies, and he came home.
I told her I was getting this first. Don't let her lie to you, internet. She does that.
And I was like, so what'd you get? This game? Oh, well, how much do you have left over? Nothing. Oh, that's it, huh?
So complete in box, game and manual. It's a role-playing game on the PS2. It's like the PS2's calling card is role-playing games. Mm-hmm. Super, super excited to try this one out. And that is
that. Was a good month, though.
That was a big month. That was a big month. I think that we got, I guess we didn't quite get that many Kickstarters. Dark Tower is just so big, it feels like multiple Kickstarters.
Yeah, it's a big box.
And then the big trade-in, and we had another trade. So, you know, it looks a little bigger than what the money we actually spent on it. Well, let us know in the comments section what's your pick of the month. All this stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think all those movies, or Devil Summoner was worth all those movies?
Probably was. If we're not going to watch the movies.
I mean, yeah, it's all movies we had seen before. Did I stick to my dinger only
Close.
caveat to this year, or was Prey slightly too outside of that? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Pumpkin.
Yes.
Where did you spend the last 72 hours?
In the emergency room. Because we all know how much we love the emergency room.
Yeah.
Especially when they have a skeleton crew on the weekend.
Well, tell them that you're okay.
I'm okay. I'm okay. Just had an infection that was excruciating pain that even morphine couldn't subdue. Although fentanyl seemed to do the trick. So, thankfully, now that we figured out what it is, took a while, and I am on hefty antibiotics, then no more pain medicine needed.
That's
Because
right.
it really doesn't feel that good. Sounds like it feels good, but it doesn't.
She can't drink on her antibiotics.